Hello everyone, and today we are doing What If Deku was Altaria, Part 3. And I will be releasing a 600 subscriber special sometime within this week. I'll let you guys, you'll be notified, obviously. And if you aren't notified, go down into my channel and turn on notifications and make sure you are subscribed, because sometimes YouTube tends to unsubscribe you. So just in case. Okay, onto the video. Okay, everyone. So we'll get into the video now. So we continue off the day after Deku and his classmates finished the All Might's special hero versus villain training exercise, which, yeah, I did a whole episode on that entire fight. That was part 2. So, maybe should have gave you guys more content, but yeah, I don't really have an excuse there. I just accidentally did that. So, guys, let's get into it. So, we continue this off, and Deku and Uraraka are walking into class like, so what do you think we'll be doing today? And Deku's like, maybe some more hero versus villains training, or endurance training, or quirk training, something. Uraraka's like, yeah, that sounds smart. As when they sit down, Aizawa tells everyone, go get in the bus. We'll be going to the USJ, the unforeseen simulation joint, and you guys will be doing just basically everything. Rescue training. Everything in rescue training. So, go. As they all hop onto the bus, and they're going to the USJ. And during all of the conversations that were happening during that time, Sue goes to Deku like, hey, Izuku, why do you always insist on using the word fluff? As Izuku looks to her like, well, you see, I have all this fluff and you don't, so I don't see why I can't simply, spread the fluff to the world. And Sue's like, you kind of sound like Hitler there. Deku's like, confusion? Who? And Sue's just disappointed. I'm like, this is like elementary school stuff, Izuku. And Izuku's like, you see, in elementary school, I had fluff with me. And you see, you didn't, so you wouldn't even imagine the amount of entertainment all that fluff gave you. So, how did I get off track of that for? Okay, and then Bakugo interrupts them like, stupid Izuku. I should have beaten you there. And Bakugo's kid is like, you clearly cheated somehow. And Izuku looks to him like, I would love to know how that happened. As Spoon King, who was still trying to find one of his missing diamond spoons from his pocket. And while he was scrambling to find it, Principal Nezu, No. I was thinking about something. Principal Nezu walks up over to Spoon King and is like, Spoon King, let's come in here. Let's talk about your retirement stuff. And Spoon King's like, okay, Nezu. And while they're doing that, the children all arrive at the USJ. And when they all get out, they see this girl, and she's in a spacesuit, but it's like a tiny spacesuit. And she takes off the helmet like, "Hello, students," and they all shout, "14!" Get it, like 13, and then this is 14. Anyway, Izuku is like, "That's the rescue hero 14. She goes completely off of what her great grandmother did, who is 13. Somehow we went from 13 to 12 and 11 to 14. Anyway, guys, when they open up the doors to the USJ, the 14 then explains, well, Inoue, as a very good hero school, you'd imagine we have some really enduring training exercises here. We have the usual League of Villains fight, which isn't really the League of Villains fight, but it's become standard for all students to fight in this at least once. So if you do want to fight in it, be my guest. As the more daring students sign up for it. And Izuku and all the other kids who did it go over and do that. But 13 starts training them with everyone else who didn't want to do that. But secretly, a new League of Villains is waiting for the perfect time to attack. To end Spoon King's reign of heroism and his beacon of light that his massive spoons grant throughout the entirety of the country of Japan. And when Izuku and everyone eventually defeat the Nomu, and Izuku is basically bloodied and just mangled because he took most of the damage, as he just takes off a piece of the fluff of his suit and then puts it on his neck, and then it restores his entire body. Izuku's like, I do not want to do that again. As 13 walks up to them, and Izuku is like, why did I say 13? 14 walks up to them, and Izuku's like, what is it, 14? And 14 is like, did you guys beat them yet? Did you start the event? As Izuku is like, we just came back from it. What do you mean? As 13's like, then why is there a golden portal? As Izuku's like, a golden portal? As I screw everything about the just future stuff. I'll just be saying Spoon King instead of All Might, guys. That's all that I'll be changing here, because I will not get used to it. I just can't. Just imagine, though, with your very small imagination in this century, imagine that it's the future, people, that I've been talking about. So, Aizawa looks down to them like, everyone, get back. As he gets out his scarf like, I'll do this. As he jumps down there. And, so there was a purple portal before. Now it's golden. Which, it's actually a difficulty spike. And one of the League of Villains, spiked it up. And, he restarted the event. But Aizawa, not knowing this, four of normal, really strong Nomus just start beating him up. And that's when Izuku comes down there and, with his new attack, which was Dazzling Gleam, he uses Dazzling Gleam and cuts them all up. And Izuku's like, this is how I did it. As he cuts them all up and then he uses Twister. And they all get knocked into part of the USJ's glass. And when there's all the Nomus are bleeding, Izuku goes up into the air and then uses a dragon pulse and just evaporates all of them. Izuku flies down like, I can kill them all, but it's very tiring. As Izuku looks over to Aizawa like, was that it though? No, I won't stop. Okay, so Izuku looks over to Aizawa like, I guess that was it. And the League of Villains, be right back, guys. Okay, guys, continuing off. So, Deku. Okay, making sure I'm still on the same picture. Okay, so Deku looks over to Aizawa once again, like, seriously, is there anything else? Aizawa was like, right there. As he throws a Calth drop at a new golden portal, which the League of Villains' new leader walks out of and catches the Calth drop and throws it at Aizawa, which hits his knee, and Aizawa just plucks it out. As the new leader did not look like crap, thank you, like Shigaraki. His costume looked like a sailor captain, like a Grand Admiral. I play Guardian Tales, guys. Just don't beat me up for that. I hope that's what Grand Admiral means. They look cool. So, Deku is like, why does he look like that? And that's when Deku, and Aizawa are bombed. As, the guy's name we'll call Utensil. I was like, okay, guys, fire the armada. As Izuku and his class begin getting just rained on with bullets, and 14 is getting just destroyed by them all. And 14 ended up having to go to the hospital, you know, and that's when Spoon King teleports over there, and he is immediately hit by one of the missiles, and him being old actually gets hit by it, and that's when Utensil is like, he definitely has gotten weaker. As Utensil grabs out of a very mysterious backpack that he's wearing, a massive scythe with some red substance on the metal part. As he goes over to Izuku, who is in his way of Spoon King, as he's like, get out of my way, kid. As Izuku narrowly dodges the first slash, and he catches the second one, and Utensil just says, get out of my way, kid. This is not the place for lowly kids who think they're good at this. As he kicks Izuku, and then gets out his scythe like, ultimate move. The sea's wrath, as Izuku falls into a random puddle, and when he thinks he's out of it, his arm nearly gets cut off by a massive scythe slash, as Izuku quickly throws fluff on it and regens it. As Izuku gets back up and looks at Utensil like, you should know, heroes these days, even the ones in training, are much more powerful than anything before us. I would know. As Izuku is rained upon even more with the missiles, and Izuku makes a fluff shield around them all. And Izuku is like, that should keep that off. As the Grand Admiral's like, pesky kid. As he's like, I'll have to use maybe 3% for you, just to give you a little show. As Izuku's like, 3% of what? As Izuku is suddenly cut in half with the scythe, as Izuku quickly throws 4 pieces of fluff on his waist and regens it. As the Grand Admiral is like, stupid kid. As he says 5%. As Izuku is hit by the scythe, and it cuts him on the chest, and this immediately knocks Izuku out. And Izuku didn't get enough time to throw fluff, but King Spoon quickly picks him up and puts fluff on the wound, and King Spoon then lays him down. And King Spoon is like, I'm getting way too old for this kind of crap these days. As he gets out his magnificent spoon, and he's like, perfect spoon, second form, magnificence. As the Grand Admiral's like, what are you doing? As the King Spoon teleports in front of him and stabs him in the chest with the magnificent spoon, and kicks the Grand Admiral into the wall. And King Spoon is like, I may be old, but I do assure you, I am extremely strong still. I'm not in my prime, though. I could have already beaten you in that time. As the Grand Admiral is like, well, for you, I will show 50% for now. As he pours 50% of power into the scythe and immediately blitzes towards King Spoon. And King Spoon can't even see him, that's how fast he is. And King Spoon just teleports up in the air. And then with a normal spoon, sits on it as he floats up there. As he then realizes he can probably just jump up here, actually. As he jumps down to the Grand Admiral who is looking for him and hits him on the head. And that injures the Grand Admiral, but just not enough. And the Grand Admiral, who regens from the hit, is like, you know you can't beat me, old man. As King Spoon is like, I will not go down to a low life like you. I will retire in the public's eyes, not in front of my students. As Izuku wakes up and looks over to King Spoon like, oh crap. As he sees that the Grand Admiral already found his weak point. As the Grand Admiral's like, I see this. As King Spoon is like, crap, he knows. As the Grand Admiral taps on the ground, and that's when a massive scythe appears out of it, and King Spoon now can't see anything, and he hears someone walking towards him, and that's when his weak point, which is we'll say the back of his leg, and he cuts it open, and that's when all of the magic power from King Spoon starts falling out, and King Spoon, immediately regenerating it, is then kicked in the face by Grand Admiral. And Grand Admiral goes, I'm not doing any damage to you, but you're not doing anything to me. I feel I should end this in one shot. As King Spoon's like, same. As he makes all 20 forms of his spoonology. As he says, spoononomics. As all of his spoons gather around him in a pentagram. As he then, out of the ground, summons the perfect spoon. As he grabs it and then looks over to Grand Admiral, who now had dual scythes, and the Armada now breaking the fluff shield because Izuku was really weakened. easy, and the perfect spoon just immediately makes a new shield that nothing could get through. And he runs at the Grand Admiral, teleporting in front of him. And the Grand Admiral just cuts King Spoon right open on the waist. And King Spoon is like, how the heck? As they start having an all-out clash with their weapons. And after about a minute of just straight fighting, Izuku eventually can see how fast they're going. And King Spoon is getting beaten heavily. And when they get out of the little scuffle, King Spoon is bloodied and battered. And Grand Admiral has a lot of bumps on them. And lots of spoon wounds. And that's when King Spoon walks backwards. And Grand Admiral's like, oh, you want to end it? Let's do this. Let's dance, old man. As she shoots both of her scythes up into the air. And they all burst into one single thing of energy of light. As Izuku flings two things of fluff onto King Spoon. And as they hit King Spoon then says, I appreciate it, kid, but I don't know if I'll need your help here. As he raises his hand up with his perfect spoon, and his spoon's essence goes up into the air. That's when the spoon starts levitating, and it shatters, and then becomes a massive ray of rainbow light. And Spoon King is like, for the greater good, I must defeat you. As he holds his heart, as he'd been cut a couple times there. And the Grand Admiral, seeing that he's outmatched, he quickly opens up the power even more to it. And Grand Admiral then shouts, maximum overdrive, as they are matched in size. And that's when they both launch their attacks. And in the beam struggle, Izuku flies up there with his entire class in astonishment. Izuku is like, Mega Evolve, as he taps on his little tie. And he becomes Mega Altaria, whatever it is. And Izuku is like, massive Mega Dragon Pulse, as his beam goes right towards the blast, and it starts pushing against King Spoon's blast. And Grand Admiral notices he's being overpowered, and Grand Admiral's like, no way, I won't fail, as he starts pouring life essence into it. And Spoon King noticing this, like, he really does want me to die here. I won't fall for that trap. As he looks over to Izuku like, give it all you've got. If you really want to do this, I can guarantee us our win. But if you really want me to stay alive a little longer, we can stay here for a little until the pros come. As Izuku's like, I can't hold out much longer, sir. I don't know. I'd say wait for the pros, but they blocked off the entrances. Sir, I want you to use the least amount of life essence you have to pour into this blast. As King Spoon is like, fine, kid. As he then extracts yellow energy from inside of his body, and it goes straight towards the blasts. And Izuku and King Spoon's attack immediately overpower Grand Admiral's. And when Grand Admiral's attack is consumed, Grand Admiral then is also consumed from the attack. And Grand Admiral is just vaporized from it. He goes out screaming, saying, Master, Master, please, we were this close to winning, as he shouts for his teacher, but it seems he couldn't achieve his goal. And that's when, within a white void, Grand Admiral wakes up, and he looks around, and that's when his teacher, which we'll keep anonymous for now, welcomes him like, welcome, Grand Admiral. You've done well. You've led your army. You've nearly defeated King Spoon. He might even die after this attack, but know this. If you ever need help, just call for me. Remember that promise you told me? I'll honor it, because I owe you a favor from when you saved my life. I'll save yours. But you'll have only 30 months to live. I know that sounds like a lot to you, but it's really not. That's only 2.5 years, so I'll save you, but I have to take a lot of your life essence, as his teacher takes a lot of it, and the Grand Admiral falls to the ground like, Sir, come on, I'm on my very last legs here, as his teacher appears in front of the blast and just completely flicks it away. And King Spoon is just awestruck, like, how? That was our strongest attack. And while this is happening, Izuku crosses his fingers behind his back like, that's what we tell him, yeah. And secretly, Izuku has a secret, we'll say, as his Mega Altaria form. And, yeah, that's what happens. So, they see the teacher in front of them, and Izuku fires a massive fireball a dragon pulse at him, and he teleports away with Grand Admiral. And yeah, that's where we'll be leaving off, ladies and gentlemen. This is Call Me Rushed, signing off. Look for the 600 subscriber special coming this week. And bye.